Hey guys, it's Andrew bringing you a new video looking at some of the news, the motorsport news that we've had in the last week. I was planning to do this video a little bit earlier in the week, but had one of those weeks where I was really busy with work, so I apologise for not being able to get this video out. But here we go, we're in the Nissan GTR GT3 car. A little bit of fun round Midfield Raceway, which has been recently added onto Gran Turismo 6. If you've played the Gran Turismo series a long time, you'll know of this track, and it was really one of my favourites back in the day. So anyway, getting onto the news, let's talk Formula 1 and the on-track action first from last Sunday's Australian Grand Prix. Overall, I would give the race a 5.5 out of 10. I still enjoyed it. The lack of cars didn't really bother me. You still had a good bit of interest in what was the midfield, but the major points playing positions. So yeah, I still enjoyed the race. I listened to it on the way down to my Club 100 karting round last Sunday and watched the highlights Monday night from the BBC. So yeah, a good race, some really top drives and a really solid drive from both Mercedes drivers. But once again, it looks like Lewis has got a slight gap over Rosberg at the moment. And one thing that I did wonder about was when Rosberg asked for some data over team radio, and I might be wrong, but I think they said on the team radio, oh, we're not allowed to tell you that because of the rules that they brought in the back end of last year. Lewis's starts are also a lot better now, and I just wonder, the start being so important for two cars so evenly matched, and the sheer pace of Hamilton in terms of a raw ability, is that giving him a bit of an edge over Rosberg at the moment that could really be a big player in this first half of the championship? You tell me in the comments what you think of that little theory. Anyway, if you've watched my videos for a while, you'll know that I like to give a Driver of the Day award for each race that I review, and for Australia it was Felipe Nasr. I've rated Felipe Nasr for a while. I thought he's done a good job in GP2. Maybe not anything too special, but he really struck me as a confident driver, very like Kamui Kobayashi when he first came into Formula 1. Surprised me a little bit in some ways, but he was definitely my driver of the day. Got probably the absolute maximum out of that Sauber, as I said in my last video. I don't think Sauber's sheer pace is maybe as good as some people think it is. Marcus Ericsson got points. I'm not going to knock him on that front in terms of getting the car to the finish. He took that opportunity really well. There's a couple of moves that he did whilst he was on the faster, softer tyre at the end of the race. I'll give him plus points for that. His sheer pace though, compared to Nasr though, was still not good. He was a long way behind Nasr in the same car. It still asks a lot of questions for me. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say on the Formula 1 front on the track. Briefly going to talk off track. The Germany situation, I haven't really got much to add to it apart from, once again, Bernie is ruining the sport. We shouldn't be in a situation where we have no French Grand Prix, no German Grand Prix. Bernie's tried to get rid of the British Grand Prix before. I don't know what he has against the established British, not just motorsport nations, but automotive nations. I don't know what he has against them, but whatever it is, it's not good. So enough on that for now. Red Bull. Now, if you've watched my videos back even longer, back to the very start, you may know that I am not the biggest fan of Helmut Marko, and he's wound me up again with the comments that if they don't rein Mercedes in, Red Bull boss man, whose name I'm not going to try to pronounce because I always embarrass myself, is going to pull the teams out of the sport, and it just stinks of poor loser to me. Yes, I can appreciate what Christian Horner said about they didn't dominate as much as Mercedes, but they just haven't done as good a job in partnership with Renault as Mercedes. But they're still pretty competitive, and it's still a great advertising thing for their business. So it just really wound me up that once again Helmut Marko comes out with a comment which is really just unhelpful for the whole team, and definitely unhelpful for the team back in the factory. He's done it before. I still don't know what the hell he does for that team that's actually useful. So yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below what you thought of the Red Bull comments from Helmut Marko in the last week. Last lap, seeing as we're in a Nissan and we've got a bit of GT sports car racing, I did want to mention the Nissan LMP1 program, which has hit a little bit of a snag. They're not going to do the first 2 rounds of the WEC this year. I don't think it's as big a crisis as some people might want to make out. Toyota, when they joined a couple of years back, or 3 years back, they missed the first 2 races of what was then the first WEC. They didn't win Le Mans. I don't think Nissan are really expecting to win Le Mans this year. If they get to the finish of Le Mans, that would be a massive achievement for the first 24-hour run of a car. But maybe, who's to say, further on into the year, those latter races in the season, that they'll have a good chance of taking race wins, or at least fighting for race wins. We saw it with Porsche last year as well. They weren't really there on a sheer pace in the early part of the year, and getting to the end of the 24 hours was always going to be a big challenge for them. But towards the end of the year, they started fighting for wins, and I think that's really all Nissan can expect in this first year. And if they do that, it's a great achievement for them. The one disappointment for me, though, is I don't get to see the car at Silverstone. I was really looking forward to it. I won't get that, but at least I'll see it at Le Mans in June. Anyway, that's the end of the video for today. If you've enjoyed it, do click that like button. It's really well appreciated. Subscribe as well if you haven't done so before. On the screen are links to 2 recent videos that I've put out. One's a karting video, one's another news commentary video thing. I've been Andrew the Blade, and I'll catch you guys very soon.